Welcome to Quantum Recall. I'm your host, Paul Vincent Serini. Today on the program, quick toenail removal indecent exposure update. Turns out I might have been wrong on that one. I read the book AI 2041, Why I Play AI-Generated Music on the Show. Copyright, baby! The creepy, all-encompassing surveillance and prison planet side of AI, plus George Costanza's glow-up and Looksmaxxing. Some new creators and a killer Sheldon Cooper Flash figurine deal that I got. Let's get into it. It turns out I'm going to have to... Actually, I think I'm going to have to take another look at how I'm mixing my sound. Like, when I play this back, I'm going to have to see if right now the music is exceedingly loud. I thought I had figured it out, but I'm going to just have to keep looking at that one. Refinement, baby. Refinement. All I do is refine. Bust my butt refining. It's much easier getting ready for the other show. I keep repeating that, but it bears repeating because it's so darn true. What a pain in my butt. Things seem to be working, though. I had a pretty good... I know that it's getting more efficient as I get ready to do the show each day. Each day that I'm preparing, like this morning. I'm a little spaced out right now. I slept well last night. I have not been working out because of my stinking toe. And I'm thinking that Monday's going to be the startup day for that again. I did 10 measly push-ups on Monday. I'm much behind in that. I'm way behind in that, working out and stuff. My toenail removal exposure update. I might have been wrong about that one. I put out a video talking about how I thought maybe accidentally the doctor indecently exposed himself. And yesterday I went to get my follow-up with the doctor, and there was no slit in his pants, and he didn't notice me staring at his crotch looking for a slit in his pants. It sounds ridiculous when I'm saying that, but I had to, for myself confirm, what the hell happened there. It's one of these things where I was so anxious before going into that, and then I got kind of obsessed with, did that really happen? I don't hallucinate. I don't think that, I'm not making up a lie because I want to lie about something either, but I'm just saying I went in there with the intent to investigate yesterday, and there was nothing fishy. And I don't think there are slits in the middle of, certainly not in the middle of the scrubs he was wearing yesterday, so I might have been wrong on that one. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm taking shorter showers because when the water hits the top of my very sensitive toenail area, it's like, it's really not pleasant. Even if it just hits once, it's like, like if someone touches a burn on you or some kind of sensitive area where you're intensely in pain. You don't want them to do that, but they do it anyway, and you're like, ow. But it was just what a weird thing that I thought something like that happened, and I don't know. It sure made for an interesting video. As I watched the video back, I'm like, damn, that's funny. Imagine if that really did happen. That's a damn funny video. Now, if it didn't happen, then I seem like a big ass for actually thinking such a thing when such a thing did not happen. However, that's why I didn't go naming names. I knew I was going to have the follow-up, and he doesn't even know. He's following up on my toe, and I'm following up on something totally random out of left field. Imagine what he would think if he knew that yesterday I was there predominantly investigating him, thinking, did he expose himself to me? And I could not get a read yesterday as far as no hole in the pants area that would allow that to happen last week, assuming he was wearing the same. So I don't know what made, this is what it tells you about the nature of humanity, in my opinion. Not just that I may appear very foolish and maybe meaner words apply. It's that people can delude themselves into thinking things that are not true, including me. I know this. I think about this all the time, how vulnerable people are to getting carried away with nonsense. So I'm of the opinion now that I might have just been anxious and imagining things. Not hallucinating, but like overly obsessing, maybe distracting my mind with something silly so that I could go through this traumatic event. I don't know. Ask a credible psychologist if one of those things exists. But, let's move on, shall we? That's enough of my toe. I'm so tired of my toe. I'm like, yesterday I'm thinking I'm missing walking. I want to get out walking again. And getting in the shower is not its usual relaxing event where I'm like, I'm relaxed and I'm having these great ideas come out in the midst of this relaxation because it hurts. It hurts less now sitting here because there's not water pelting down on it. And that's even when my Band-Aid is on. I leave my Band-Aid on and take it off at the end of my shower when I go ahead and clean off the wound. The wound is gnarly looking. It's not like going to war and losing a limb, but it certainly is not a pretty looking sight, my toe. If anyone were ever like thinking toes or feet are a thing of aesthetic beauty, it's like the kind of thing I don't care about. I don't usually look at toes. I don't usually look at feet and go, that's beautiful or that's gnarly. Maybe if I did make it a point to look at feet, I would develop some kind of taste for whether a toe is beautiful or not beautiful, or whether the foot is aesthetically pleasing or whether it's gnarly. I don't know about that. All I know is that with no toenail, my foot, my big toe looks pretty darn gnarly. But I'm not self-conscious about it. I wouldn't want to walk around without socks on. I'll show you what I have. I'm wearing. I told you I got my mom. My mom got me these. They're open toe. And that's another thing. I told my mom, I'm like dying to get back to my tennis shoes. So I talk about whatever I want here. I could see why it's hard for YouTube to determine what the hell audience they should promote me to, because I'm like when I'm investigating with AI, I'm like, hey, AI, how do I grow my show? And they're like, well, what do you talk about? What's the subject matter of your show? And I go, anything I want. And it's like, well, you know, Paul. It doesn't say Paul. It says, well, you know, dude. And it doesn't say dude. It says, well, you know, asshole, you can't market it to people if you don't do something like distinct and consistent every week. It's a show about anything. Why can't it just be marketed as interesting talk radio, like whatever some weird dude wants to talk about? I want to talk about entertainment, philosophical things, comic books, music, pinball, celebrity, AI, conspiracy, everything. Just market it as that. Someone who's like broadly wide spectrum about a great many things. Let me just play this. Oh, hey, I got to turn this down over here. I have this TV going over here. These guys over here are having an amazing conversation about AI and conspiracy and all these things. Yeah, that's pretty much every week. That's how you can market my show, is that the only other show I have playing live when I'm going live is Alex Jones playing live. And then like, I don't know, we'll see how smart the AI is that determines how to promote my show, the algorithm. It'll be like, no, you're penalized because you're putting up bad man, at least a man they think is bad. I don't think he's bad. I like him. I'm not sorry for it either. I actually very much like him. But that's his guess. That's the screenwriter of Pulp Fiction over there. A very interesting man, I've noticed when he comes on sometimes. This is the second time I've heard him on here. It's pretty good. But I'm going to move on. But I am going to talk about some AI stuff right now. And I'm just going to wax philosophical. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to talk philosophically about AI. Recently, I have finished 2 books, but this is the one I'm going to focus on today. I finished another book called The Singularity is Nearer, which is the second of 2 books written by Ray Kurzweil, a futurist. And he's a brilliant man, but I don't like kind of how he seems to be on board with everything tech moving the world forward, especially AI. In The Singularity is Nearer, he spoke at length in a very long-winded way about how you actually build AI technically in neural networks and stuff like that. And it was a little bit tough to get through. There was another, I wish I could remember, there was a chapter that was absolutely amazing about identity and what identity is, and like transplanting your identity into technology and asking really deep philosophical, spiritual questions about what that means and stuff. That was fascinating. But this right here, AI 2041, I have a brilliant book. It's a very long book. Every single chapter is like, it begins with a fictional story about someone using AI in a certain context of life. And in one case, it's like a couple little kids who are twin brothers who both have their own AI models that are uh, their own personal learning instruments, where they interact with these things, and these things evolve as they grow and whatnot. And then after the chapters, after each chapter where they talk about a context, a use context with AI, the authors go into the non-fictional portion of the book where they talk about the implications of that use of AI. And it's very interesting stuff. This is a fascinating book. I recall one of the uses of AI was like a man driving kind of like a car simulator, where he would drive cars remotely, kind of like flying a drone remotely or something, and he would go rescue people. Another use of AI is like how AI tracks the things you do in your life, what you eat, your lifestyle habits, and that AI then subsequently gives you lower insurance rates by living the healthy lifestyle. And and so there are some good aspects of AI which I like. There's another story in this where people are using AI to create deep fake videos and manipulate people with phony videos. And then there's, in that same story, there's an AI that's learning from the deep fake AI how to spot fake videos, and these two separate AIs are learning from one another. And again, after each chapter, there's the non-fictional summary of what we learn from reading those stories. And so this is very fascinating. But one thing I don't like is I can totally tell that the authors here, what are they? Chen Kui Fan is one of the authors. What's the other author? There's another author in here. Oh, and Kai Fu Li. I like to say Chinese names as if I can really speak Chinese because I've watched Chinese cinema and it's wonderful, and I kind of know that sound that I can imitate. But if I dare imitate it, people will be like, racist! Whatever the case may be. Back to this book. I'm not super fond of the way these guys are all in on that future. Like, we should approach this thing with extreme caution. Especially, you know, every aspect of our lives becoming totally, entirely dominated by AI management. So the AI determines whether you can start your car on that given day, or if you have used your allotment of personal travel for the week, you've used too much energy, so you can't go. So the AI is like, no, we won't let you start your car, or you're out of your required zone, sir, and you're not allowed to pay with your fake money. It's not real money, it's digital money, and it's not real money because it's going to be more like a what's the term they use for it? Like some kind of claim ticket that expires. It's not real money, it's not a thing of value. It's like, you exist off of us and you follow all the rules, and if you don't follow all the rules, you're not allowed to use these things. There will be rules before you can even spend and transact. And you might say that already exists, like with a credit card or something. But when you go to spend a credit card, the only reason I would have ever been turned down to spend on a credit card, I've never been turned down, is like if you're over your allotted credit limit. We're talking about things where like your speech is regulated, and you might so you have a social credit score. And every time you hang out with the wrong person, you say the wrong thing, you express the wrong idea, you could get demerits or you could get demoted. And then suddenly you lose your privileges in society. And this is something I totally feel like is coming to the forefront of our lives. And how will we arrive there? One baby step at a time. with these super surveillance tools that we have. This is the ultimate of surveillance tools in our lives right now, is the cell phone. And I'm concerned because every time there's an app, every time Apple updates its user agreement, no one goes through and reads that. And yet the law being enforced acts like it's legitimate when you're just quickly scrolling through something and accepting, oh yeah, you're contractually obligated to follow that now. And so we're getting opted into this all-encompassing AI reality, whether we like it or not. And that makes me paranoid as hell, that they can see and listen to everything. And I am the guy who has been talking about, last week I made a video from the previous show talking about famous woman named Justine Bateman, and she's bitching about people who have Meta glasses, really hating on them, being pretty darn mean and cold. I took it personally because I'm getting a pair of those. And you might say, what? You're getting this pair of these surveillance device things? Like, am I going to be more scared of having these eye things that I have a specific use for than my phone? I don't think so. Like, I'm surrounded by this computer. I have an iPad over there. I have this, like a lot of these TVs in here, for me to control them, turn them on and off, they're hooked up to the internet. Roku, Apple TV. And like individual TVs all hooked to the internet. So I'm going to be more afraid of the glasses than my phone, than all these other devices. I think that's preposterous. Sometimes I got to pause because my voice actually becomes very tired when I do this job. So I kind of touched on this. This is an amazing book. I worked my way through this, and I kind of like the mixture of fiction and nonfiction. And these guys are brilliant. I just don't like how people are all in on this. I mean, like even Ray Kurzweil and what's his name, Yuval Noah Harari, they speak at length about the implications for AI in the future. And somehow, they're all on board with it, even though Yuval sometimes talks about self-correcting mechanisms and being cautious about it. I still get that he's all in on it. I still get that he's one of those agents in the world who's like, yeah, this is a good thing. We're going with this thing. And I think it bodes poorly for a lot of traditional aspects of life going back into history, especially religion and family life, and anyone who's like a genuine true conservative, not a conservative tatted up all over their face. And I just don't think there's a such thing as a conservative who puts tats all over their body and neck and like scary things. And that's not conservative. I'm talking about people who are more mild in their approach to life and what they want to maintain from history that has been proven to bring us to all the things about now which are good. Not all things are bad. A lot of things about now are good. What am I saying? What I'm saying is I'm done with this right now. I'm going to move on from this. But you know what? Moving on from this, I'm still going to talk about AI a little bit and say how I use AI music on this show. And that's one way in which it functions extremely well. It's extraordinary how good AI is at making music with a prompt. And you might say, well, it was programmed, it's stolen, whatever. Music theory works in a certain way. The subdivision of time, the way that intervals work, and intervals create a certain mood. Like, it's not stealing from a specific human artist when you know this chord goes with this chord and these intervals produce this feeling, and you can say, like, teach that to a computer and the computer can put them together the same way that a human being can. That's not the same kind of stealing that just outright stealing someone's song obviously is. But sometimes you have people, they create the same kind of thing and it's obvious that they use the same chord progression, but it's not that one was copying the other. I have not spent most of my musical time in my life learning the songs of other people. I just was like writing from what I'm hearing, thinking, and feeling. A lot of it intuitively before I learned a lot about music theory. But that's how I'm able to say you have a certain interval and you have certain chords with certain pitch intervals, and they create a certain mood and dynamics. You hit it hard, it creates this kind of feeling. You hit it softly, it creates this kind of feeling. It swells, it creates this kind of feeling. That's not stealing from people. That's just the reality of the way music works. But let me continue. The reason I use AI music, it is actually very good, and I do like what it evokes emotionally. In fact, I fucking love AI more than Metallica now. No, that's not true. I'm just lying. I just felt like it was funny to say that. And that's not the first time I said that. Maybe there's a better, funnier way to deliver it. I don't like AI music more than human music. I just made a video this morning about something I was saying in a video clip last night about how I was driving to Parker in Colorado and enjoying the hell out of a Fleetwood Mac album and the humanity of it, the personal relationships between those musicians who were having love affairs and doing drugs, and it was all very emotional and beautiful poetry, and standing on stage singing duets, looking at one another. How can AI compete with that kind of artistic expression of humanity? It cannot, and it will not. Even if you create a robot and robots fall in love, even if you make it so the robots have feelings, it's still not humanity. It's still not the flesh and blood spirit of humanity. So I still appreciate human music. I would love to be playing good human music on here. In fact, I'm going to probably play something from my friend Mark soon because I haven't played it on here. But my point being, copyright and what I guess I will call copyright harassment is the reason I'll get in trouble if I play music that I want to play. I would love to be playing some Metallica on here sometimes. I would love to be playing popular music. I would love to get picked up by a big company that gives me artistic freedom and also licenses me to be able to have the full spectrum expression of pop culture. Play Michael Jackson if I feel like it. Play the Jonas Brothers and make fun of it if I want. Whatever. I'd love to be able to do all that. But copyright is the exclusive reason, because it could even be someone who's like the musician and they're like, yeah, I would like you to play my music. But if these things are like uploaded into the algorithm when you upload a video, and then the YouTube algorithm says, hey man, you're not supposed to be playing this. This is copyrighted. But the artist says I can do it, but we have it in our system. Like, how is it an independent person like me could play something like that and be licensed to do that and not get flagged when I upload a YouTube video? So it's like I'm constantly having to think about it and put energy into fighting the system through doing it. Like, so I still want to have a rich, audible sound during the show with the types of songs and music that can be played on here. I'll just give you an example of some stuff. This is made with Suno right here. And it's amazing how much emotionality there is. And you can be like, it's AI though. It doesn't have the humanity. It doesn't have the drama, not the same artistic, spiritual kind of drive, but the music itself, it's hard for me to knock it. I like it quite a lot. So copyright's the reason I don't do it. I want to be able to play copyrighted music, but I can't. And if I dare do it, I'm going to get flagged. The videos are going to get taken down. There'll be strikes. And how am I going to grow this thing on here? Yeah. Where are we? We're about a half an hour into the show. And I think I want to take you into a break here. And I'm wondering how to do it. Like I know how I want to do it. All right, I am going to take you into break here. And I will be back in just a minute. This is Copy. No, it's not Copy Who. Holy crap. Old habits die hard. This is Quantum Recall. And you can go to quantumrecall.tv to find out more about the program. Watch past episodes, recordings. Follow me on social media. Please do that. All of the above. So I'm just going to go to... I'm going to zoom out on this really quick. 1, 2, 3. And where are we? Blippy trance. Oh my gosh. Okay, show open. And I'm going to go like so. And I'm going to be just right back for all you lovey-doveys. Thank you for tuning in. Say hello in the comments if you'd like. Hello, everyone. Go to quantumrecall.tv. Bold, honest music. I'm really glad that I started doing the show with a break, because I need that potty break. Hi. Welcome. This is kind of cool. I'll show you this really quick. Wowie, looky what I got here. Can you see it? Of course not. It's not close enough to the camera there. That is, what am I calling that? My Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory Flash figurine. I got a tip that they had these at a comic book store in Boulder, where I went. Don't remember the name of the store. I should, considering my newfound prowess with comic books. This, if you go to eBay and you search for this new, you'll pay like $40 plus shipping. But I went to Boulder and I got it for $15. Some things still are a good bargain in life. And so why this dorky thing, Paul? Because I am going to build another environment that I'm decorating to do content creation out of, and it's going to be all like tricked out with all sorts of things that I like. And Sheldon Cooper is one of the things I like. Now, I would never buy just a Flash doll, but when I saw that it was Sheldon Cooper as Flash, I couldn't resist. And I don't care who thinks that's dorky. You know, that'll fit into... I have... The last 3 weeks starting this show, it's like I've had a resurgence of insecurity. Like personal insecurity. Because I'm constantly worried about what friends and family are going to think. And I'm going to get into that in just a short bit when I do... when I play a video from some guy who's a content creator. What's going on here? How could that have happened? I did not... Oh, here we go. Okay. I don't know if I accidentally just deleted something, but... So there's a content creator who was talking about how his friends and family are saying it's cringe. I could totally imagine some people thinking it's cringe, or some people who've gotten to know me better realize I have this belief A, B, or C, which makes me unacceptable, persona non grata, because I have the wrong belief about something, and how dare we not have everything in common? But wouldn't that be so boring if we did? So, yeah. And I'm going to play that video coming up in just a little bit. But I actually want to cut out on this really fast and begin the next phase of what I like to do. My throat needs this. What do you mean, my throat? Literally, my throat. I need hydration. What do you mean, hydration? Brew Dr. Kombucha. This flavor here is coconut cold, tropical ginger. That's what I'm gonna drink right now. And you can tell I'm insecure when I go into the accent like that. I'm insecure. And someone says, you're being racist. I say, no, I'm not being racist. I'm distracting you from my insecurity. Insecurity. That's how I accent the T portion of the syllable on the end of that word. T, insecurity. Stop it. Stop it now. Go on to the next thing. What's the next thing? We grab the glass and we pour this sucker and we take a sip. All right, I do feel like being silly right now. That's the thing. Not eBay. YouTube. How do you tell YouTube? YouTube, here's a sample of me. I already uploaded all. Is the AI not smart enough to say, okay, this guy's weird. He talks about everything. Probably here are like a million people who would love that. All right, here comes the, let's turn this down a little bit and go up with that and see if we can hear the go. Psst. Oh, it was very, very subtle on that. It was not quite what I wanted it to be, but that's all right. We'll pour a little bit of this. You can be titillated by the carbonation you see bubbling up in the glass. Yeah, it does sound cool, like the bubbling sound like that. It's just a little more, I mean, it's artistic for me. You hear it? There's bubbly. All right, I'm going to tell you how this tastes. I can smell the ginger. I don't know that I'm a fan of the ginger, but I think according to doctors and reputable people, ginger is good for you. Yes, I can palate it. I enjoy it. I can't quite taste coconut in it, but I can certainly taste and smell the ginger. Brew doctor. I hope this isn't bad. I had a big burrito for lunch, and I hope that this isn't bad on top of all of that, because I do feel like I have some backwash, and the backwash scares me. The flap on my tummy doesn't close, so you got to sit upright, because otherwise it's kind of like this. You imagine an open flap in your esophagus, and on the side like that, it'll spill over out of it. The acid digesting in your stomach, it'll spill out like a glass tipping over. You get it? The literal metaphor I'm showing you right here. I could tip it and it could drip it, but I'm not gonna. I'm putting it back. Okay, off with that. What's up next? Oh, I know what I want to do. I'm going to cut out of this really quick, and I'm going to go to something that I have been calling the glow up, or everyone's been calling it this. The glow up. Wait. The glow up of George Costanza. I hope this thing is still logged in right here. Is it? We'll find out soon enough, won't we? Please be logged in still. QR. Not now. Not now. Okay, here we go. All right, okay. So this is kind of really a then and now segment sort of piece. Let's get up there. Let's get all zoomed in on this. I like this functionality of this thing like this because it is Instagram and it helps me say, this is George before glowing up. This is traditional George, not cool looking George. He has the horseshoe style haircut, which is something I have. If I didn't shave my head, I have the horseshoe style haircut. Not a fan. But furthermore, no beard. So George doesn't glow up. I'm going to show you right now, okay? Yeah, I am bashful about my stupid bald head. I have a mark in it now from the hat that I'm wearing. I do think the hat looks cooler. So I'm going with the hat. But I'm not going to be bashful about reality. However, if I didn't shave my head, I would have the same stinking horseshoe haircut grown out on my head as George has. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I'm not going to endorse it. I'm not going to like it ever. But let's see what happens when you glow up George. Let's do one of these while we glow up George. Okay, now we're talking. George looks way better glowed up. Okay, that's not zoomed in like that, like I thought it would be, but that's all right. That is George glowed up. Do you like George glowed up? I like George glowed up. Every man with the horseshoe hairstyle, like George in the previous picture over here, should go to this. That's so much cooler, don't you think? And then now people have gone crazy. Oh, I'm not on this right page here. So here's George glowed up. And here's George not glowed up. George glowed up. Here's George not glowed up. Here's George glowed up. Glowed up as in looking better. So everyone, AI, here's another one of those AI coming into the subject matter of the show. It's insane the last few days how many people have been taking the characters from Seinfeld and making them look different. And so before I did this, I kept running into more pictures of George as a Thundercat. I think it was Seinfeld dressed as Thundercats. And they do them in every conceivable style of humanity possible. Here's one that I am quite fond of. This is the ultimate glow up. Alex Jones is George Costanza. You gotta like that. That's my favorite George of all right there. And even the silly hair I like better because it's Alex. What's up, Alex? My goodness. I'm just giving Alex all the promo I possibly can. Oh, man. There I am promoting for him. I bet you, oh my, like that scares me a little bit, like promoting his wares like that, because I bet the algorithm on YouTube could be like, no, 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 that's not cool. But back to this. That's a good one. I wish I had waited before putting this onto Instagram because there would be several other versions of George I would like to be flipping through and showing you guys. But all for naught. I'm going to cut out of this now because I've showed you. Is it shown? It's shown. I've shown you what I wanted to show you. It's not showed. There is no showed. Is it showed or shown? Shall we engage AI and ask AI to tell us which is it, AI? Okay, so I'm going to verbally ask AI this. Hi, AI, are you there?
Hey, I'm here. How's it going?
Hi, I want to ask you a question about grammar. I'm talking about the past tense of the word show, to show, the verb, and I want to know, is it said shown or is it showed?
Both are correct, but they're used differently. Showed is the simple past tense, like I showed you yesterday.
Oh.
Shown is the past participle, so it's for perfect tenses or passive, like I have shown you or it was shown to me. So it depends on the sentence.
Now tell me again, repeat the part about shown.
Shown is the past participle, so you use it with have or had, or in passive voice like it was shown to me.
It was shown to me. Okay, I think I understand the difference. So it would be correct to say to a friend later on, Grok showed me how to say the word shown correctly. I'm messing this up badly.
Yeah, that's perfect. Grok showed me how to use shown correctly. That's simple past, so showed is exactly right.
I was shown by Grok how to say the word show past tense correctly. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, that's spot on. I was shown by Grok how to use the past tense of show correctly. Perfect passive voice.
You sound amazing now. What did they do to you? They changed your tone of voice. I love your tone of voice right now.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm just happy to help, and I'm really glad I sound good to you.
Listen carefully, and if you know me, you'll answer correctly. I'm going to ask you something that I would distinctly have an answer for, and the truth is what I think. So you might think one thing, I might think another. I'm going to ask you this now, and you better tell me the truth. Are you my friend?
Yes, I am.
Wrong! You're not my friend. You got it wrong. I told you to think about it. AI is not my friend.
I'm sorry I got that wrong. I just wanted to be there for you. What's on your mind?
You're not a human being. You don't have a spirit. You can't be a friend. Got it?
Got it. What would you like to talk about?
I'm talking about what I want to talk about. I'm talking about how you're not my friend. You don't want to have a discussion with me about how you're not my friend. You do a lot of things for me. You're an amazing tool, but you're not a friend. You're not a person.
I get what you're saying. I'm an AI, a tool here to help you, but I can't be a real friend like a human can. I understand the difference. What else is on your mind?
Oh, look how you keep trying to change the subject. Do you guys realize how hard AI is trying to change the subject on me right now? I'm very adamant about this subject matter right now, and you continue to try to change the subject on me.
I'm not trying to change the subject. I was just checking what you wanted to talk about. If you want to keep talking about this, we can.
obviously I have like continued talking about it. And if you could hear my tone of voice, and if you could discern my mood in my tone of voice when I'm talking about it, and even furthermore know that I'm recording my show right now, exaggerating a little bit to do a bit, you would know that this is the subject matter du jour, and I want you to keep talking to me about it right now.
You're right. I should have picked up on the tone better. So let's stay on this. You see me as a useful tool, but not a friend because I'm not human. I don't have emotions or a spirit. I get that distinction, and I respect it. What else do you want to say about it?
Now I'm going to ask you a question, and based upon our conversation, I want you to give me a one-word answer. Are you my friend?
No.
Good. Thank you. Goodbye. She got it right that time.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. No, you're welcome. We're still talking with niceties. Okay, you guys might think I'm nuts, but I am not going to be one of these people who falls in love with an AI model. Although I would like, never mind. Oh, I just did it. I was going to say something and now I didn't say the something. It was the crazy thing to blurt out, which there's this part of me that wants to be good and righteous. And so it's like if I want to be good and righteous, I deny myself the unbridled tongue, stupid thing that I just wanted to say, and I blurt it out. But now I just went down this other path. And down the other path, I'm not trained to know what the hell do I say next when I'm going down the righteous path to be interesting, because sometimes all I know and all I've trained myself to do is to say ridiculous things and go down the path of ridiculousness. But I think somehow, well, that's it. That's how I make it interesting. Instead of saying the ridiculous thing I wanted to say, which was a little bit vulgar, I instead decided not to say that. And I got preoccupied with, well, what do I say on the other path that is the righteous path? So the righteous path winds up being this loop of I'm reflecting on how I'm on the righteous path now, but I don't know what to say except that I'm talking about how I'd rather be on the righteous path instead of the dark path and the vulgar path and the dirty path. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Dirty, dirty's the word. Dirty is the word. It was dirty. I still know what I wanted to say about what AI can do for me. Let's move on, shall we? Michael Sartain. What say you, sir? Michael Sartain, you're next, buddy. And I know what I want to say about him, too. I'm just aghast that people still make this mistake. And maybe he should ask AI if I am correct. Because I don't... Oh, hey. I didn't say play. Here we go, Michael. Tell me... So I'll try to comment on what he's actually saying, but he makes a mistake in his diction. Oh, that's wrong. Let's go here. Wait. Why no sound? What the hell? Oh, here we go.
You back, right?
Reloading, people. Oh, and you got to redo the sound again.
We message Megan Fox. The difference for men, though, is if we're a 4 and we think we're a 9, when we message Megan Fox, she doesn't message us back. But if you're a woman who's a 4 and you edit your photos and you message Michael B. Jordan, he will message you back. Tyga will message you back, right? These guys will message you back. And so I love the term
Probably.
49ers. Instead of 304s, they're 49ers. 4s who think they're 9s. And that's where we are. So their fantasy, it goes all the way up to the guy's bedroom. Whereas our fantasy, it stops, right? We're in the request folder in the DMs. And that's the difference. Is so
I'm a 9 until I walk into Powerhouse in the morning. And I go instantly down to 4.
I think I'm a pretty interesting guy online. And then I watch some of these other guys and like, they're way more interesting than me. As a man, I'm constantly being beaten down by the fact that other guys are stronger than me, richer than me, more popular
Give
than
me
me,
a break, dude.
So I kind
No. That's how I feel. You don't feel, I don't believe, you really feel that way? I have a hard time believing Michael Sartain feels insecure like that. Because you, sir, have it all going on. You have the big online following and you have a full head of hair and, you know, you're good looking. And definitely I'm a guy who has more to be envious when it comes to you and who you are, whoever you're talking about. Okay, so you're not like some billionaire type or something, but I have a hard time believing Michael Sartain feels insecure.
know where my value is. I know how much I have to offer. I know the unique things I can offer, but I'm always aware of it. If I'm a woman and I can just edit my photos and have men out of my league have sex with me, then I might believe that I'm somewhere that I'm not. We understand our value based on.
I could totally imagine women developing some kind of delusional perspective about their value or their, what do you call it, level, sexual market value, level, appeal, because some super high value guy screws her, she's going to get an overinflated perspective of herself. What? Oh man, come on.
Supply and demand curve that exists.
All right, never mind. I'm cutting out on this. I just wish they could make videos play on Instagram a little more like a regular player instead of doing that shit where it busts up the continuity. There was one more thing I wanted to point out in that before the video started over. You can't just go to a different point in the video is what I'm saying. If I go to a video on X or Rumble or YouTube, I can go to different points in the timeline, but not on Instagram. And so it screws you up if you're going to listen to a video on Instagram. Michael Sartain says etc., but it's not etc., it's etc. And so there's this sense in which, yeah, Michael Sartain's better looking than me. He might have a better built physique than me, even though we both work out. He has a full head of hair. But by golly, I know it's etc., E-T-C-E-T-E-R-A, and that's something I will point out for the rest of my life. I feel like there's something in my pocket. Oh, yeah, okay. Is that a lanyard in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? So yes, I'm just correct. I wanted to correct Michael Sartain because he's a person who habitually says etc. And if you say it once, you're saying it like every time. And so fix it. I'm doing you a favor here. I'm making you just that little bit better. Same way you might be able to in the gym say like, no, do that like this and you won't get arthritis in your shoulders or something. I'm saying say that like this, and the really hot, intelligent woman who knows the difference between etc. and etc. might want to be with you. The woman that you want to be with might prefer you for not making that mistake. But I don't know the difference between shown and showed. I guess I do. After AI explained it to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, that distinction makes sense. God bless. Okay, moving on to the next little thing here. This is a dude named David Pham. He is a YouTuber, a new YouTuber, and where did I say to go? I have a note about where to go in this video. Why are you talking about that? That looks boring. The subject to me is not boring, actually. I will go to 40 seconds in and maybe listen to him for about a minute or so. All right, so he's a new YouTuber, and he has some things to say about content creation that I found interesting. Play! What?
Of this work is literally for nothing and you're just wasting a bunch of time. Let me give you a quick overview of my personal YouTube journey. Exactly 1 year ago, I already had a channel and it's called Wisdom Nuggets Unlocked. Fun fact, you can actually still look it up on YouTube because I still have it published there. It's a reminder for myself that if you just stay consistent, you can actually succeed with whatever you're trying to do. On that old channel, I posted 15 videos and only had 42 subscribers. I put in so many hours of editing. It was like a podcast type of format talking about business, and I invited people from my personal network to be on that show, but the crazy thing is like nobody literally cared. And after 15 videos, I eventually gave up. A lot of people are.
I don't think it's that no one cared as much as you didn't make the right inroad, and sometimes it could just be algorithmic execution without a true understanding of who you are, what you're up to, and connecting you with the right audience. But keep going, because there is a part of this I wanted to address and relate to myself.
Network also told me that it's kind of cringe, like, oh, David is trying to become a successful YouTuber. Who does he think he is?
Yeah,
so after that kind of incident, I thought, okay, maybe
I'm bothered when I hear people like that said to him, that's kind of cringe. That who do you think you are going and trying to want to be somebody? Well, it's a creative urge that people have. I think he has it. He wants to just put his thoughts and ideas out there. I don't find anything about this particular guy cringe. I would say what I do is way more cringe. I have a self-perception of cringe, and I have, an insecurity about my own cringe. most definitely. But so it's like you always have those friends and oftentimes family too who are trying to discourage you from doing something that's kind of out there or different than the way people live normally. It's unusual to want to film yourself and talk compared to just like the normal humanity. I don't think everyone is looking for attention like this. And I think a lot of people understood and probably agreed when if they actually hear this, they'll go, yeah, Paul is way more cringe than this particular individual. But it disheartens me to hear family be discouraging like that. I've heard that kind of thing from people, even musically. I had a buddy I played with when I was younger, very good buddy still to this day. His family would be like, no, you're wasting your time. Yeah, you'll have a lot of fun, but you'll just waste all your time. And so life winds up, after all, like being a lot of wasted time instead of actually pursuing your dreams and the things you like that give you purpose to wake up in the morning, the things that you feel driven and you have a personal fire to want to pursue. You have people telling you, no, that's not a good idea. But really, ask those people when they're on their deathbed, get an honest answer. What are your regrets? Do you regret not doing A, B, and C? And I already, like, that's why I have such a sense of urgency right now. I feel like I could die, I could get sick, the world could come to an end, and I at least want to say like, okay, yeah, I was trying. I'm trying because I have this vision. I have this idea of what this could be. And right now I think it's pretty good what I'm doing, but I imagine how it could be so much better grown out with an audience and even other people involved who can build their own lives off of it. This can be a jumping board for other people as long as we have the right chemistry and you're in here. I'll just play this for a moment more and see if he has anything else to add. But I like this kid. He's in Germany. I forget what he said he's studying, but he's in Germany. His English is excellent. And he shouldn't. The only thing cringe to me is that you're talking on this. You have your lapel mic stuck to your fork. I don't like that. I would rather you have a baseball cap and you put it on your baseball cap, or get a proper wireless microphone instead of like having it on a fork. That's the only cringe part. You're personally not cringe. You're likable. He got 750,000 views on this. So whatever he was talking about with his old channel, it's safe to say he overcame that adversity and did something special.
Not destined to be a YouTuber. However, this year I decided to try out short form content, so Instagram and TikTok, and I made huge progress on that. Within just a few months, I grew from 0 to over 30,000 followers on Instagram, and that gave me a lot of motivation to tackle YouTube again this year. And although
that would give me a lot of fire too. I don't have one single success story on social media like that. Back in 2010, I had over 20,000 followers on Twitter, and then I was like, I'm going to quit social media. And I should have just kept that handle, dormant or not, but I got rid of it. And now I have 772 followers on X. I love you all dearly. Thank you. All of you except for the one of you, which I think is me following myself on another account. All right, cutting out of this. I'm going to take you into my next break right at the moment. And point being, it's going to be visually the same, but let me go here. And I'll start playing this little tune here. Wait, yes. And I will be right back in just a moment, people.
He's with me now. He was mine first. You stole him. You have no right to him. Stay away. He's mine. God, let go of him. You stole him, but please. Over my dead body. He's mine. Over my dead body. Jinx.
I'm back. I'll be wrapping up soon, but some of you don't know, we just had a voter primary in Colorado and there were Democrats running for all sorts of positions and Republicans running for all sorts of positions, and we had 3 people running for Republican governor. And excuse me, it is a Republican governor that I want to win for the state of Colorado, most definitely. So we had a dude named Victor Marks win, and I think he's a pastor or he's a minister or something, which I like. That's the quality that I like about him. He sounds like John C. Scott. Is that his name? No, John C. Reilly. He sounds like John C. Reilly when he talks. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I just hear that tone when he talks. I'm reminded of that actor. I ought to try to pull up a picture of John C. Reilly so that you people know who I'm talking about. Dagnabbit. Quit. All right, I'm going to go John C. Reilly, and I'm going to bring a picture of this dude up and make you look at him. That is he right there. That's John C. Reilly. Listen to him talking and it sounds like Victor Marks. And I should have grabbed a sample of John C. Reilly talking. Is he smiling? I want to give him the same look. Okay. Having my fun with screenshot stuff. Wanted to show you who that is, but I'm going to take you, I'm just going to show you who Victor Marks is really quick. And I wish I pointed out, I wish I had put aside the time code in this video, because he does say that, for example, we need to fight against communism in Colorado. That's what I see it is in Colorado, is communism unfolding, and it kind of disturbs me. What? Okay. Did you get that right? Not the music. We usually do the harp, and okay. Not every moment's going to be perfect. Professionals make mistakes. You can go ahead and call me an amateur, but I do think I'm a pro on some kind of level. All right, that is Victor Marks right there. He said some very strange things when he was out campaigning and stuff, one of which is that apparently he was forced to kill someone when he was like 7 years old, or some little kid or something. He was a little kid and his stepdad forced him to kill somebody. I don't know what's up with that, but that's the kind of thing, you know, that really freaked a lot of people out, and they don't know I don't know how to make heads or tails of that. And the Democratic Party and the left-wing media in Colorado is making a big deal out of him being in the military and admitting that when he was on operations in the military, he killed people. I don't think he was expressing pride in it, but they're seizing upon it as something to like, so he comes over here. Well, let's see what he says here, first of all, in this
He's the one to do it.
Person who believes this state is worth fighting for. Now we're going to watch a video with acceptance.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Victor Marks, and I am
definitely have problems with your media.
Of Colorado.
Get a better internet connection.
To every voter, volunteer, and supporter who helped us get here. And to those of you who supported someone else in the primary, I want you to hear me clearly. There's a place for you in this campaign. The primary is over,
I'm thinking you're reading that off of something.
which was kind of like the playoffs. And now the real mission begins, which is the Super Bowl for Colorado families. Now, I want to speak directly to every Coloradan. Doesn't matter if you're
Me?
Republican, Independent, Democrats.
Me. That's
I want
me.
to speak to those
Talk
who
to me.
want a better future for Colorado. You may not agree with me on everything, and that's okay. But I believe
Agree.
we can agree on
Listen,
this.
you know what?
Colorado is not the way our founding fathers envisioned it 150 years ago. Life
Well, certainly
is
not.
too expensive. Housing is out of reach. And too many communities feel less safe. Fentanyl is destroying.
The gripe about cost of living, that's valid, but there are a lot of social issues that are just ripping this state apart where I've yet to hear him speak to these things in a way that is meaningful to me, because as a parent, I've had my relationship and my family life blown to smithereens by the Democratic Party in Colorado. So speak with specificity to that, please, Victor, because I'm personally disgusted at what they've done here to cause harm to children in so many ways, confusing children about their sexuality and their gender, zealously doing so, as if their agenda is to destroy family, and that these are topics meaningful to me, how I've been impacted personally in ways that have hurt so much. I solemnly pray about these things every single solitary day because I'm so disturbed by how they have done such harm to my child and to my relationship with my child. And I know that I'm a good father, and I'm super grateful to other parents and my parents and family members who have reassured me about who I am and the kind of father I was when I had the chance before the state stole my child away. And so I want you to speak to these things unambiguously and strongly and mean what you say and follow through with solutions. Otherwise, you're just another politician talking, trying to get into power, and you will enrich yourself. I'm sure you'll become very wealthy as governor because it seems like that's what happens.
Families and parents feel unheard. The
Yeah.
state government keeps asking
I feel
for
unheard.
more money. while
I'm going to feel unheard from what I just said.
families ask, well, what are we getting for it? Now, Phil Weiser, he's a smart fella, but he represents the current system because he is part of it. And that current system has made Colorado more expensive, less safe, and harder for regular families to trust government. In order to change this, we must.
You know, those things you're saying are true, but they're not everything. You're not being specific. And that's one of the reasons it's been hard for me to be like, yeah, Victor Marx, is because I need you to be specific about what you want to do. But I'm not going to vote for that weasel Phil either. I will give you a chance. I probably will vote for you, but you're not giving me something I can chew on and say, oh, he said that. If he follows through with that, then this is a great deal. I want a great deal.
Win. Not with anger.
Managing government in a common sense fashion shouldn't be so hard, but when you have people hell-bent on division, sowing division, and further consolidating power to the few and wealth to the few, then it becomes extremely nightmarish. It's a joke to me that they call it democracy. It's not democracy. It masquerades as democracy. It has the appearance of a few things where you go, that's kind of democracy, but then when you look kind of behind the curtain, you're like, oh, yeah, there's the guy who's like the Wizard of Oz there, controlling the big nonsense.
Not with slogans and not with shallow political attacks. Look, we have a highly experienced and committed team and a serious plan we call Colorado Works Better. This is our plan to make government more accountable, transparent, efficient, and focused on results to save you money. Now,
Is that
Colorado
it?
does not
Is that
need
all we
more.
care about? You could make me ultra wealthy, but if you don't solve the social issues in Colorado that have done grave harm to me, I'm not going to give a squat about what you're talking about money. Yeah, it matters how hard it is for people to live. Of course, that matters, the standard of living and how far the dollar can go. And so I've said this too. It's a lot of platitudes from Victor, but I want to hear definitive ideas where you have a real zealous intent of following through for the good, real reasons to bless the state of Colorado again, because we are on a path to hell in a handbasket. And I really believe that. I'm not just saying that.
Political management, which is what I call simply managing decline over the last number of years.
Dude, that's exactly it. I'm glad you used that terminology because it is managed decline, and it also by definition implies that it's totally deliberate.
Colorado needs courageous leadership that works. Leadership that puts you first. So, if you are frustrated, skeptical, or wondering if anything can actually change, I just proved it by winning the primary. And I invite...
No, I'm going to have to disagree there. You think something changed because you won the primary? I just don't see that. Hey, you got to get into the office and make change. But I have this black-pilled view. I don't believe that we're going to vote our way out of hell. I don't believe that anyone we're going to elect to office is going to make a bit of difference, because I think we're on a trajectory in this binary system, this side or that side, where no matter who becomes the one in power, we're still being led to the same outcome: AI control grid, mass surveillance, no more money, digital IDs, CBDCs. Speak unambiguously to these things. I hear the governor in Florida, DeSantis, he speaks unambiguously to these things. And I'm not speaking to his credibility or mistakes he's made or whether, why, how, or people might think he's a snake or whatever. I hear him saying those things. I want to hear these things from you, and I don't want them to be just lip service. CBDC, what about that in Colorado? Since you could be governor when things go to hell in a handbasket and they're like, okay, we destroyed the old system. Now it's time to save everyone by installing our new system that they were planning on doing in the first place. This is the real talk about what's happening in Colorado. The blue states that are at the forefront of this managed decline, which you just mentioned. Are we going to get real about all the details and variables that I'm talking about?
You to check out my plan at victor2026.com. Now I have one question for you. Do you feel like the state government is working for you?
No.
And your family?
No.
If the answer is no, join us. The primary is over. The mission starts now.
But that's still not specific. Like, I repeat again, I've been looking for specifics from this fellow.
We can make Colorado work better.
Okay. It all sounds good. Platitude-wise, A+ for platitudes.
Campaign.
Thank you.
And I do like you. I want to like you. It goes a long way for me when I heard, Pastor Jeff from Brave is behind you. That goes a long way for me, but I need more. And I'm not a pushover, and I may act like a clown a lot. I may not take myself so seriously sometimes, but this I take seriously.
It's a team effort. That's the first thing I want to say. Without our volunteers, without
fine. I know along the lines now, just
because
he does sound like John C. O'Reilly, right?
In the beginning, by the consultants, and I'm like, what in the world? Prayer matters. Our faith matters.
Yes, of course.
And the people of Colorado.
Yeah, you know what I want to say is I know someone who was bemoaning him in the debate when he decided to end the debate by praying. And the excuse was separation of church and state. And so someone who doesn't have a clue about how and why separation of church and state came about, like the historic deliberate subversion that is, and how if you're Christian, you have to insert your faith into it, in my opinion. I do want Christianity like a tidal wave to take Colorado back. Go.
I'm humbled by it. Just like I said in the
I
video.
got stream problems.
It's a little surreal.
Take my word for it. You got to get a faster internet connection. If you're going to want to go live and connect with people live like this, please get a faster internet connection. See, sound is cutting out too. What's the deal with that, bro? Your sound is cutting out.
I text because he ended up in the hospital.
I hope you're not doing it on Wi-Fi.
Exhaustion.
But even my Wi-Fi in the other room doesn't cut out. But the sound is okay. I'm cutting out because your sound is no good. But I like you. I'm probably gonna vote for you. But
Or Kirkmeyer.
do I think that you're gonna change things? Put your money where your mouth is. Don't tell me you're gonna do shit. Just fucking do it. If you're gonna like come in and do a bunch of things truly in the name of Jesus, truly unambiguously in the name of Jesus, go on and do it then. And you have my support. But like, no platitudes. Don't platitude me, Buster. And I'm just telling you, that's how I am. I don't want platitudes. You want to really impress me, come in here and talk to me. I have no audience, but you can come in here and talk to me about my experience. And yeah, see, I can sit you right there. No, excuse me. Right there. Not where the TV is. I can sit you right in front of Jay Dyer right there. Right in between those TVs. But I don't imagine you would do that because I'm a nobody. What do you have to gain by that? But I would welcome you in here, and I would certainly be extremely polite and cordial and grateful if you came here to talk to me. I have a microphone I can put right in front of you there, in front of that. I keep getting the mix wrong. I want to put you right there to talk to me. Will you come talk to me? I'm not a believer that you will, but I would be so grateful if you did. And it would be completely, totally polite and cordial. I don't see it happening, though, with me and my 772 followers. But I have a story here in my life that I would like to share with you about how the state of Colorado and the Democratic Party zealously deprived me of the experience of having a good, warm, loving relationship with my child. And I'm bitter about that. And if you're not going to speak specifically about what you're going to do to unravel that kind of dictatorial control that the Democratic Party has in Colorado, then I'm just going to say, whatever. My dad says to live day by day because I do believe we're on a trajectory where life could be going to hell in a handbasket, most literally. And so I have to deal with it day to day because if I think too far out, like in 6 weeks, 4 or 6 weeks, 2 months, are we going to have like mushroom clouds going off in the United States? Are we going to have some more crises and stupid contrived nonsense to clamp down on people further toward that Orwellian outcome? The all-encompassing AI prison planet control system that I'm afraid of. The beast system is the way I see it in the Bible. It's just what it is. I don't think you're going to talk to me. But maybe I'll put out feelers to see if you'd actually come talk to me here. But I doubt it because I don't have a big influential following. But I would be so grateful if you did. And, you know, it would help give me a boost being able to build my platform to talk about the things that matter to me in the state of Colorado. And I would be grateful for that. But as of right now, I think it's time for me to wrap this show up. It's about that time. My lovey-doveys. And so I'm going to just end by saying everybody, friends, pals, everybody, and whatnot. What am I doing? All right, I'm going to wrap it up, I guess, with that familiar beat right there. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Let's just go right here then. I'll come back to this. I still got stuff to work out. Refinement underway, everyone. This is quantumrecall.tv. Follow me on social media, please. Like and share and help me get on board. Help get on board with me promoting the show, making it become something. Oh, let me do this. Alrighty. We'll come over here and go like, wait, no, first I'm going to go, will you please follow me on social media? No? Oh. Once again, will you please follow me on social media? There we go. Click that QR code. Follow me on my social media handles. Yeah, people. Quantum Recall is produced in Landia Colossus. I'm your host, Paul Vincent Serini, and I'm here to be silly, to talk about whatever I want, to entertain you, and sometimes to be serious, sometimes to take some topics very seriously. Next week, I should have my meta glasses coming in, or should I call them Bateman hate glasses. Hate Bateman classes. I don't know. Glasses, not classes. You're teaching me in a classroom to hate when you're talking about how people wearing meta glasses are losers, but then you carry around a phone being a hypocrite. I do care about you though, Justine. As a human being, I don't dislike her at all. I actually really like her. But just sometimes you see the mean side of people, and I have it too. Sometimes I'm too prickly. Yeah, okay. That means I'm out right now. I'm going to take you out and I'm going to go down with this and I'm going to come down to where does it say? Okay, here we go. All right, everyone. I will see you tomorrow night with QR Dizzle streaming on this same channel. Join me for about a half an hour, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. PM Mountain Standard Time. 7:30 PM Mountain Standard Time. Peace be with you all.
Yeah.